Hello, back again for episode 2. Thought I should introduce myself a bit better and tell you a little bit about my childhood. I grew up in North Texas, in a small town. Spent summers and weekends on my grandparents' dairy farm doing farm work. And in school, my report cards would always say, Lisa talks too much, or Lisa doesn't pay attention. Lisa's not living up to her potential. And I just heard a constant chorus of that all the time I was growing up. Everybody around me knew that I was smart and capable, but some of them just didn't realize what the problem was, nor did I. So I was being treated for another issue which caused depression and anxiety since I was about 8 years old. So I just thought I was chronically depressed. And about 20 years ago, my husband and I moved down here to Central Texas, and I started working for a university. And after I went through menopause, I started having a lot more problems focusing. And I'd be searching for words, much like I'm doing now. And it was causing such an issue. I started getting the very first negative employee work performance reports that I'd ever gotten in my life. I'd never done anything like that. But I just seemed completely unable to focus. And I couldn't remember, or I couldn't really understand verbal directions. And it seemed like I had always had issues with that, but not nearly to the point where I was having them now. So I went to a therapist, and I was telling her, all these issues I was having. And I said, I basically think that maybe I'm autistic. And she said, no, I think maybe you ought to be checked for ADHD. And she recommended me to a neuropsychiatrist. And I took a battery of tests. And sure enough, I had very pronounced ADHD. So I talked to my general practitioner about medication, because the psychiatrist told me that I would probably benefit from it. And so I was prescribed medication. And for about the last year and a half, I've been on medication, and although it's not completely corrected, my ability to focus has gotten much better. So if you have any sort of reservations about taking medication for your ADHD, all I can tell you is it helped me a lot, and I would hate to be without it. So, but that's my story. I lost that job at the university. They laid me off right after I had told my supervisor that I had ADHD. And, that was the reason why all the problems I was having. And sure enough, they let me go right after that. So I was off for about 6 months. And I found another job at a community college, which I really enjoy. And the community college is very, very empathetic to staff and students with ADHD and autism. So I've got high hopes for this job.